Hello students, let's continue with the celebrated lyric Tears Idle Tears written by Alfred Tennyson. In my previous video, I have tried to explain the first two stanzas of this beautiful lyric where Princess Ida's maiden is singing about the futility of her tears, and at the same time she attempts to associate the tears with the memories of the days that are now no more. Let's see what she sings in the next stanza. Ah, sad and strange, as in dark summer dawns, the earliest pipe of half-awakened birds, to dying ears, when unto dying eyes the casement slowly grows a glimmering square. Here she is talking about the sad and strange nature of the memories of past, and she is explaining it through the image of a dying person, through the responses of a dying person. And she's describing the time of the early hours of the morning in the summer season, when the birds, they are singing their early morning song. The earliest pipe, this phrase is used for the early morning song of half-awakened birds. The half-awakened bird means that in the morning the impulse to sing is so strong in the birds that the birds begin to sing before they are fully awake. And this melodious song of the birds makes a dying person sad, because he feels or he is aware that he would soon die, and so he will not be able to listen it anymore, to enjoy this melodious song of the birds anymore. And now, as that man is on his deathbed, so his vision is also getting blurred. That's why the phrase is used, dying eyes. And to his blurred vision, the window, the casement word is used for the window. The window of his room slowly grows. It gradually appears before him, not as a window, but as a glimmering square, just as a faint outline square in shape. Means the window does not look like a window, but it appears like an indistinct framework to that dying person. So strange, so sad, so strange, the days that are no more. So thus the past happiness looks strange and unfamiliar with the passing of time. The memory grows vague and dim as the time passes on. Stanza 4, here again the maiden continues with the memory of past happiness. Dear as remembered kisses after death. She is singing that the memory of past happiness in itself is as dear to her as the memory of the love of our friends, and sweet as those by hopeless fancy feigned, and it is also as sweet as those which we enjoy in our imagination, even though their actual enjoyment may be an impossibility owing to the death of our loved friends. And here the word fancy is for imagination and fiend is for to pretend, to imagine. Means in our imagination we create those very figures which are now no more, which we just try to create in our imagination, the love which is now no more there for us. Deep as love, deep as first love. The memory is as overpowering as the first moments of love, yet it fills the maiden's heart with a sense of intense sorrow, because she cannot call it back. Wild with all regret. So her heart is filled with great regret. She is just got mad with regret. Regret is here for the sorrow, and wild is for the intensity of her sorrow, the deep sorrow we can say. O death in life, the days that are no more, and without the happiness which she knew in the past, Now her life is no better than death. So she calls it death in life. She calls it death in life. Means if the pleasure and joy for which this life is meant is absent, the life becomes dull, as good as death. It is actually life in death which she is living, but she suffers the pain of death. She weeps even though her tears are futile. Her heart is filled with the memories of the days that are no more, and it is not possible to recall those days, to make those days happen again in our life. So, this lyric presents briefly in a very spontaneous way the feelings of the maiden, which is in itself a general truth about the past which is buried and which cannot be relived. As far as the artistic beauty of this lyric is concerned, this lyric is well structured. It is divided into 4 stanzas of 5 lines each, and the poem is written in blank verse. What blank verse is? We will discuss about it in detail in our some other video. And the another thing which is to be noted is that all the 4 stanzas, each stanza closes with the days that are no more. This is actually the refrain of this song, and the repetition of this phrase just enhances the intensity of the feeling that the maiden's heart is filled with distress just for the memory of the loss of the past happiness. As far as the language of the poem is concerned, it is also quite in tune with the mood of the poem or the tone of the poem. The use of alliteration enhances the musicality of this poem. For example, there are certain phrases: so strange, so strange, so sad, so strange. Alliteration is there. No, not, divine despair. And with excessive use of alliteration, or there are metaphors also. For example, in the closing line of the lyric, then next simile is also there to enhance the beauty of this language. For example, in the second stanza, fresh as the first beam, sad as the last. This is the second stanza. And sad and strange as in the dark summer dawns. The third stanza, the simile is very beautifully used. And lastly, there is an apt use of paradox also in this poem, in the phrase of death and life. So, in nutshell, we can say that this poem as an artistic piece is excellent, and it presents the poet's mood, poet's tone, or the grief of the persona of the poem in very beautiful language through the apt use of the various literary devices. I hope you must have now a very fair idea of the contents as well as the structure and style of the poem. Thank you.